John chapter 11 with the death of Lazarus. And there's a few verses here that I highlighted. I'm just going to read through them, a little out of context, and then if I need to add context, I will. But the story is basically that Lazarus was terribly sick. They sent somebody to Jesus, was like, hey, Lazarus is sick. And Jesus loved Lazarus and Mary and Martha, right? And Jesus was like, it's okay, we'll go in a couple days. But he told his disciples, when he heard that Lazarus was sick, he said, this illness does not lead to death. It is for the glory of God, so that the Son of God may be glorified through it. And then in verse 6, that's verse 4. Verse 6 says, so when he heard that Lazarus was ill, he stayed 2 days longer in the place that he was, which just sounds crazy. It's like, what in the world? You know your friend is sick. Why wouldn't you go? I know you said it's not going to end in death, but why wouldn't you still go, right? And then verse 11 says, after saying these things, he said, our friend Lazarus has fallen asleep. I will go to awaken him. And then his disciples were like, but if he's sleeping, what? And then in 14 it says, then Jesus told them plainly, Lazarus has died. He said this wouldn't lead to death. And then he's like, but Lazarus has died. I gotta go raise him from the dead, basically. I gotta go save this situation. And you're like, but Jesus took extra days. Like, if he'd been there on time, it would have been fine. And when Jesus got there, Mary and Martha both said that to him. They were like, Jesus, if you would have just been here, our brother wouldn't have died. It would have been fine. And then Jesus said to her, he says, did I not tell you that if you believed, you would see the glory of God? And then the story goes on that Jesus went to the tomb and he called Lazarus out. And it was absolutely spectacular and incredible because Lazarus had been dead for 4 days. 4 days. They said, don't even roll the stone away from the tomb because it's going to stink. He's been there for 4 days, and he walked out with his bedclothes on, like wrapped in the burial wrappings, and the glory of God was seen. It was very clear, to the point that the religious leaders wanted to kill Jesus and Lazarus for that, because they couldn't have it getting out. The religious leaders could not have it getting out that Jesus had raised a man from the dead after being dead for 4 days. 4. And we're still telling that story today. I don't know what you're walking through right now. I don't know how hard it is. I know what I'm walking through, and I know how frustratingly difficult it is. Whatever you're walking through and however hard it is, remember that what you're going through is for the glory of God. I know that that's not fun to hear. I'm so sorry. But someday you're going to get to tell a story that is about the glory of God. And you can waste this season in complaining, bitterness, anger, discontentment. And those are all normal human emotions. You're going to feel them from time to time. But you can spend the entire season feeling that way and waste it all. Or you can spend this season getting closer to God and getting to know who he is. Who the God who's supreme over all this suffering, the God who says glory will be brought to my name through your suffering is. And why he's worthy of your praise. Spend it wisely, my friends. Spend it wisely.